The Real Minds Goji here, and today we're going over a kaiju that is hated without reason, and that kaiju is Godzilla 1998. Goji, or as fans call him, Zilla. The year is 1998. When the movie dropped, it was bombarded by critics for being a horrible film. The characters were unlikable, and its take on Godzilla. Throughout the years, he's been hated on, but a cartoon would soon step up to the plate and save his image. Godzilla the series would come out in the following years, only lasting 2 seasons, and this put a little bit more respect on the design for Goji, Gino. And he would be more traditional in line with Godzilla. Then, later on, Toho would add him into Final Wars under the new name Zilla, where he was one of the many fodder kaijus Godzilla had to face in that movie, where he easily tail slapped him down into the Sydney Opera House and got killed with one single beam. Now, minus Goji, what does this have to do with today's video on how he earned Godzilla's respect? Well, I had just recently finished Rulers of Earth, and I must say, he had earned Godzilla's respect in a major way. Let's jump into it. Started with Zilla, as he's called in the comics, appearing in Honolulu, disrupting a kaiju or megafauna convention thing, where he attacked Honolulu, roaring, possibly trying to feed, where he was wandering around the city. Now, how did he get the name Zilla in that Godzilla beamed him, sparking the battle? Godzilla charged at this phony. Zilla, not ready to back down from the fight, defended himself against the king. And Godzilla, not taking this as a challenge and disrespect, was not going to let Zilla live. Zilla started by charging, and Godzilla did as well. A fight for the ages, Zilla versus Godzilla, the rematch. Godzilla sliced at Zilla, but Zilla dodged. Zilla tried to bite Godzilla's neck, but Godzilla responded with a head slam to the ground. Godzilla then tried to finish Zilla off by stomping his head in, but Zilla dodged easily due to his agility. Then Zilla slashed Godzilla's thigh, causing him to bleed. Godzilla responded with biting Zilla's tail. Zilla screeched in pain. Godzilla pulled on his tail and chunked Zilla into away. Zilla crashed into the buildings. Godzilla, charging up his beam once again, shot it. Hitting where Zilla had landed, it was easily to assume the king had won. Godzilla roars in victory, but something's off. A low rumble emerges. Godzilla notices something's wrong, walks to where Zilla had landed. To his shock, there's a hole where Zilla burrowed. Immediately, Zilla emerges from the underground, having a burrowing ability. Now, this to Godzilla shocked as Zilla charges towards Godzilla, ramming into the king of the monsters. Godzilla responds by biting down on Zilla's neck, causing him to bleed, but military intervenes just in time to blast him off Zilla's. Now, and Zilla bites down on Godzilla's arm. Godzilla responds with a tail whack. Zilla burrows away. Godzilla, looking around, stomps down on the ground. Zilla emerges under him, causing him to fall, similar to Baragon did to GMK. Zilla emerges once again, getting shot at by the military. He makes a mad dash. Godzilla's beam destroys the helicopters chasing Zilla. Zilla notices this and sees Godzilla, or where Godzilla was supposed to be. He looks around confused, trying to see where he is. And Godzilla emerges through the building, surprising Godzilla to his shock. Godzilla grabs Zilla by the neck, begins to charge up his beam, but the military comes just in time. Zilla takes this moment of distraction by Godzilla and dodges the missiles. Taking advantage of the situation, he runs back to the ocean, leaving Godzilla to roar in anger and misery as he missed the chance to kill. Godzilla then begins to walk down to the ocean as he senses something's wrong, and the battle concludes. That's this first fight. There's an extra little detail. Godzilla is seen circling around Monster Island, seemingly knowing he's not welcome there, as he has not earned his place with the other kaijus. Now let's discuss this battle and how it possibly made Godzilla and Zilla have a deep hatred for each other. Godzilla possibly seeing him as another challenger to his throne, an enemy possibly there to take his place as king, would not let that slide. Now, of course, I could be completely wrong, but this is just my theories. It's never explicitly said that Zilla disrespected Godzilla, but it is possible that Zilla challenging and fighting Godzilla back was a way of him challenging the king's rule, and maybe this set an example for other lesser kaijus that Godzilla was more of a tyrant than a king. Godzilla, not liking this, of course, wanted to put Godzilla down to teach him his place and show him that he's the king and not to be challenged. Again, this is just a personal theory, and I could be completely wrong, but until confirmed otherwise, this is the case for me anyways. Headcanon, if you will. Now, let's discuss how Zilla, despite all he did, earned the king's respect. Surrounded by trilobite copies of God himself, Varan, Kumonga, and Titanosaurus, and Baragon, and looks like Anguirus, and many other kaijus. It seems his situation seems hopeless, as he's outmatched, but a familiar roar is heard by Godzilla, and to his shock, it's none other as Godzilla prepares to roar, challenge, and fight the trilobites. A familiar roar is heard by none other than Zilla, who has charged into the battle, being the only kaiju not cloned by the trilobites. Seemingly out of just pure helpfulness, he has come to help Godzilla in this outmatch conflict. Even if he and Godzilla has squabbled before, they put aside their differences and join together to fight. Now, after Zilla is also seen biting down and attacking the other trilobites and trying to help against Maculente. I can't say his name, but later on, as Godzilla and the other kaijus leave from Monster Island, Zilla, despite his previous disrespect for Godzilla, after saving Gojira's life, now able to walk among the other kaijus, earning the king's respect. So yeah, that's been the video on how Zilla, despite all, has earned Godzilla's respect. Of course.